Hello, everyone. My name is Doug Bletcher, the host of the Autism Stories podcast. One of my biggest passions is running, and I think running helps me to discover the joy of finding my flow through continuous movement. But before I tell you more about my own experiences with running, you'll hear from other autistic runners and how they fell in love with the sport. Some do it recreationally, some do it competitively, and some are also involved in the running industry. Whether you're a runner yourself or you just want to hear autistics talk about something that we're passionate about, this video is for you. I hope you enjoy learning more about running from the autistic perspective.
So I've actually been running for about 20 years. And when I started out, it was just something I did to clear my head because I was very anxious at the time at work. Got no idea I was autistic then, and I was probably burned out. So I started running, no Garmin's or mobile phones or anything back then, but I'd just run along the river until I was tired, have a little rest, and then run back until I found that I could run 5 miles or more. And then from there, I started run leading in my village. We do the occasional Couch to 5K program where we get new people into running, but a really regular Sunday morning social run. So this isn't about getting fast and training for races. This is getting out the door, doing a side-eye social conversation, chit chat, and looking at the scenery, and sometimes letting off steam. And people really seem to appreciate that.
I love just the kinesis of it, like kind of this somatic feeling of running. I love just the way every single step feels and the constant feedback loop that your body's giving you, just telling you exactly what's going on in the moment. There's no past or future while I'm running. It's entirely just right now. And I've found a great community through running.
Races get bigger, or at least some of the races get bigger and bigger, and exactly the starting lines are very chaotic and loud and noisy and crowded. That for me is far from the most exciting, rewarding part. Again, not that I don't like people or want to talk to people or want people to be engaged in the sport, enjoy their race. It's just very purely overwhelming, and people on the spectrum, myself included, have a lot of sensory issues, and for me, sound is one of them. I hear things probably 10 times as loud as most, and the louder the starting line, the more it rattles me. You know, I'm always itching to, besides just for racing purposes, itching to get off the line, but to kind of find my own spot on the course where I can just kind of run my own race and be away from some of the noise of not only the start line, but people just don't realize how noisy the world actually is.
When I was younger, I would kind of go in the zone in my head, and I would close my eyes and I would imagine that I was running. And so I expressed that to her, that it's always been this thing that I felt like I was meant to do. I was meant to run. I was meant to move like that. Somehow I knew, instinctively, that would calm the vibration, because I just vibrate constantly. So I knew, because I would do it in my head, and it would help a little. And so I told her, and so she was like, let's just do it. I think you can run. I think you can do it. And she had just taken up running. And so I chased her for what she told me was a mile, but ended up being 2 miles. I mean, pretty much continuously for 2 miles. And I was in love with how I felt afterwards. I felt alive, and I felt like I could feel my body, like I was aware of everything. I existed in space differently after a run.
But I really found a lot of success in cross country and track in college. I never did in high school. I ended up being team captain and MVP of my cross country teams. I set some notable school times. All of a sudden, I felt there were certain expectations placed on me compared to high school. I handled them well without letting them go to my head and affect my performance. I kind of think I did that in high school a bit. Well, in high school, I learned how to run, but in college, I learned how to race. And I think some of this pressure might have taken some of the fun out of running. Indoor track meets would literally take up 8 to 10 hours of my Saturday. I'm in my prime long distance running years. I'm a marathon runner now, and distances similar to that. So, I'm 34 now. I have a good probably 10 to 11 years left in the marathon to be competitive. So maybe even more, who knows? But I still have a lot to prove. My college years were definitely not my peak. I'm definitely still chugging along. But the main difference is I'm having more fun.
There was a popular running shirt about 20 or so years ago that read, "Running is life, the rest is just details." So for a couple of years in my mid to late 20s, that truly was my life as I completed 8 marathons. Every day was about running for me and becoming the best runner that I could be. It wasn't just about running, it was about eating things that fueled my body during runs. It was about being hydrated. It was about stretching. It was about running shoes that I didn't get injured in. Running, especially marathon running, and the training I did as an autistic person can lead to a lot of challenges. You can keep pushing and pushing, leading to much more of a likely state of burnout. You can become too rigid with what you put into your body. You can get so focused that it takes away from other important aspects of your life. So there are things to definitely be aware of when the magical sport of running comes into your life. But I wouldn't have grown as an adult in the way that I did and had experiences that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my days on earth without running. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep learning from Autistic Voices.